Very much, gentlemen. Thank you both on behalf of Kansans for your service to our nation. You both in your testimony, in your written testimony, talk about the threats of a number of threats, but one of them that you both mentioned is Russia. I want to focus a moment on Russia and its role in Syria. We have learned within the last week, it's become clear that an organization, a militia group called Syrian Kurdish YPG militia, have formed a bilateral relationship with Russia in the process of building some kind of military facility in northwest Syria. This, I believe, is one of the groups that we are supporting in our assist and train funding efforts. Your budget request includes an additional $600 million for the Counter ISIS Train and Equip Fund that I believe includes funding for this organization. My question is both broad and specific. What do you see the role of Russia in our efforts to have success in Syria, and how do we make certain that the money that we provide to militia groups in support of that effort, what kind of consequence is there with a relationship to Russia?
Very quickly, sir, I'll let the chairman address this specific group. The YPG has actually got two different areas. One of them, the Afrin Kurds, is the one that you're referring to, that Russia has developed a relationship with. But right now, we're at a position to have deconfliction with Russia. We do not coordinate with Russia. But let me let the chairman get into the details of your specific question there.
Thank you, Secretary.
Senator, I can confirm for you that the specific group that's being supported by the Russians is not a group that has received training, equipment, resources from us in the northwest part of Syria. And to the Secretary's point, we're very clear that we don't have political alignment with Russia in Syria, so at the military level, and we're also very clear as to what the NDAA specifies with regard to not being able to cooperate with Russia. So on the ground in Syria right now, what we're working very hard to do is just make sure that our people on the ground are safe, that our aviators are safe, and that we're able to prosecute the campaign in Syria, deconflicting our operations with those being conducted by Russia. In the specific groups that we do provide support to and the ones that we have asked to provide additional support to, we do have a very detailed vetting process that we use to mitigate the risk of that weapons or equipment falling in the wrong hands.
What about the relationship between those groups that we may assist and their relationship with Russia? Is that a component of the vetting process?
It is a component of the vetting process, Senator, and I'm going to be quite honest with you. The group that we are supporting, certainly at the political level, has been engaged in Russia. The YPG has a political office in Moscow itself, but the groups that we're providing support to on the ground are not being supported directly by Russian military forces.
Thank you. We'd be expecting a report, a strategy from the Department of Defense in regard to our efforts in Syria. Is that soon forthcoming?
It is, Senator. We've got the skeleton plan put together. We're fleshing it out. It's an interagency developed report where it embraces economic, diplomatic, military, covert means. And we should have this done in the next couple of months, if that long. It may not even take us another month, but we're still putting it together, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. This budget amendment includes some military construction funding that we're anxious to also take a look at in our subcommittee. One of those areas that you are requesting funding is a military construction project at Guantanamo Bay. That is designed to redesign new barracks for our enlisted men and women. Men, I believe, in this case, for the detention operations at Guantanamo Bay. Would you like to highlight the value of why those dollars are included in this request and what they mean? We had a Kansas National Guard unit that deployed to Gitmo for providing security services. A long list of military officials have decried the condition of the facilities at Guantanamo Bay, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to make certain that we know why that's included and its value.
Senator, I've in the last few months been down to visit our men and women down in Guantanamo Bay, and as you can appreciate, I think that's probably as arduous and as demanding work as we have going on inside the Department of Defense. And they are living in facilities that are old, well past their time, and I believe that for right now, we do need to provide them with suitable living facilities, and a new barracks for that reason is part of the request.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.